So I'll go ahead and just give an opening statement. Man, incredible game, especially start to the game today from our team. And we've been hit with different adversities. Today it was playing with no Kyla Deck and playing shorthanded and having people that had to play different positions. Obviously, Jock came in and started again, which she's comfortable as a starter, and she was huge today. And it starts with her, offensively what she did, but Delaney, she has to guard her in the second half with Wu getting in foul trouble, and to play both sides of the ball the way she did was just tremendous game from Jock. I thought E was spectacular too. She's somebody that we normally rotate out. She didn't come out the game in the second half, and for her to just play through all the stuff that she had to play through to control our team, control the game, to make sure we're to steady our team, she was tremendous, man. 3 steals, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, I think 13 points. And then Wu and Mish continued just to be steady. And I think it wasn't just those players, man. Nia Johnson continues to give us just play on both ends. 9.7 rebounds today. She was tremendous. And Amaya Brannon, the 9 minutes that she played today is the most she played this year. She's been battling injuries, but for her to come in and be able to spell us the way she did today, I thought she was tremendous. And this was a team win against a really good Tulsa team, man. They surged in the second half. They were hitting big-time threes down the stretch. I mean, Delaney and Madison Crawford hitting big-time threes down the stretch. We did a great job of defending home court. So, again, proud of this team, proud of the effort of our group today.
You told us prior that this was going to be a game where all hands were on deck, and you had all hands on deck, and you named off and rattled off a couple names there. What does that tell you about the depth of this team? You've talked about the adversity and everything that you've gone through. Has your depth taken the step that you anticipated?
We keep having to see things as opportunities present themselves. I think you look at our last home game versus Chicago State, and Mish didn't play. Jalen Talley steps up, has a double-double. Shadeja Brackens was our player of the game that game, has 17 points. And I think different games allow for different people to come in and thrive and play well. And I thought today, the players that came on the floor today did tremendous. And, when we go play Memphis is going to require something different. And so I think what our team has is just great adaptability. Like we have the ability to adapt to any situation who we play against. I love the versatility of our players. Tulsa's a tough guard, but when you have bigs that can guard on the perimeter the way we did, it's not easy for Jalen Talley and Mish and Anaya and Amaya to guard the way they did against basically, 5 guards. I thought they were incredible today as far as that, and so now we'll play some teams that have more interior players, and we got players that can do that, and so that's what's great about this team, and that's what allows this team to be successful.
To beat that team, a team that won a conference championship just like you did last year, and to do it bookend from coast to coast, beginning of the game to the end of the game, what does that tell you about the performance that you guys had today?
I just think our team continues to grow every game. The things that we are trying to improve on in practice, we're implementing those things in the game. And so it's fun as a coach to see us grow in the areas that we have to grow. I mean, you look at our first games, and we're getting to the free throw line a whole lot, but we're not making a whole lot of free throws. And now we're getting to the free throw line, and we're capitalizing. And Misha went from that was a problem for her, and now she steps up to the line, she's knocking down free throws. And across the board as a team, we're 84% today. Early on, it was 40s and 50s, and a couple games probably in the 30s. It's not just that; it's little things. The press was a point of contention for us last game versus Wichita State. That was what. It's why we struggled in the second half, and that was something that we worked on and emphasized in practice the last few days. And they pressed early on, and the press allowed us to score on the back end. And so for us to continue to grow in the areas that we have to grow, it shows a lot of maturity of our team. And I thought that was a word that we used probably a few weeks before Christmas time, is we got to grow and we got to mature. And I think our players took that to heart, and they're doing that.
And one example of that is Jocelyn. Jocelyn, when you were given the opportunity, of course, to fill in the starting lineup, it's not an unfamiliar spot for you. You've started for this team for a couple of years now. I mean, what was your mentality going into this game, knowing that you would have that chance to start in the 5 again?
Tell them about shoot-around.
What happened to shoot-around?
You can tell me.
No, I'm just
Oh, okay. I mean, not my best shoot-around, let's put it that way. But I feel like they know what I'm capable of. They remind me every day. I know what I'm capable of. So it's just about going out there and doing it, not just offensively, but defensively as well, especially missing Kylo. Like, we knew, like, we need an extra person to step up in that way. So, yeah.
You win the top dog chain today, not only because you filled in the role, because you executed. When at what point in the game did you feel like, okay, I'm gonna have a big game from a shooting standpoint?
Probably after the first one went down. I think I would say like just something about seeing the ball go in. It just increases your confidence for every shot after that. And then obviously my teammates always telling me to keep shooting. Coaches always telling me to keep shooting. So I just know like they have that confidence in me. It's just about stepping up and knocking it down. And I've been getting in extra work, so like it just feels good for that to show today.
It shows a lot of maturity, like what Coach was talking about, and the fact that you're able to come off the bench in multiple ways, but even when you're thrusted into this starting lineup, you still have the same mentality. How challenging has that been for you as a player to know whether you're coming off the bench and getting those minutes, or you're starting and getting those minutes, that you still have to perform at a high level?
I feel like it doesn't matter. Like the minutes you're given, it's just about making the most out of them. And I feel like in previous games I haven't done that, and they've let me know like you're not playing to the level you need to play at. So I feel like today showed what I can play at, and it doesn't matter if I come off the bench or start. Just be the player that I'm supposed to be.
Coach, how does that play a factor into your decision making moving forward in the rotation of guards or just lineups in general as the year goes on?
She's gonna play, and she's gonna be a big part of us winning. We had the conversation before the season. One of the reasons why we were so effective last year was we had Deanna Robinson coming off the bench, and she was our third leading scorer on the team. She was the sixth player of the year for the conference, and I told her like we need scoring off the bench, and that was one of the things that I wanted her to do. I knew she could come in and be a big time scorer for us. One thing that's great about her is just her maturity. Like I asked Deani, who I coached for, that was my 5th year last year coaching her, and I asked her to come off the bench. And the same thing in her 5th year, I asked her to do that this year. And it takes a mature person to be able to accept that and still know they're going to get their minutes, they're going to play. But that's something that our team needed. We needed to have a scoring punch off the bench. And today we needed her to do it in the starting lineup and to do it for 37 minutes. And she was not only effective, man, she was a big-time player. This is her second 20-plus point performance of the year. And, she showed exactly what she said, what she's capable of doing.
All right, you're 2-0, American Conference play. You got a road test against Memphis, a couple road tests back-to-back, and then you return home against South Florida. I mean, what's the key to continuing this run and starting conference play at a high level?
I do want to say this. Our second road game of this leg is Tulane, and just the senseless tragedy that happened this morning in New Orleans. We're praying for the families of those people that were affected. You hate to see something like that ever happen, and it hits home because we go there next week, and so we just hate to see that. But as far as what we have in front of us, the focus is on Memphis. We're not looking at the Tulane team yet. We're not looking at South Florida. We're looking at Memphis. And Memphis has a talented team that their record doesn't show how good they are. I don't know what they did versus Wichita State today yet, but they've had players that have been out with injuries, and as they get players back, their team looks better and better, and that's a talented team. And so, we've got to come back and prepare for our third game in 7 days. That's the one thing. They got to buy that first game, and so they're playing their second game, and so they're going to be probably more fresh than we are, and we just got to continue to adjust and find a way to win the next game.
Last one for me, Jocelyn. How do you keep this momentum going into those next few games?
You mean like as a team?
Just as a team, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I feel like just continue to keep putting in the work that we put in. I feel like our practices aren't the easiest, but it shows in games. We can get up and down the floor for 40 minutes, and that's just the style we want to play at. And then also staying locked into scout and just staying mature, like being, just everyone knowing their role also helps us continue that momentum. Knowing we have to hang our hats on our defense like he's said to us before, and the offense will come out of that. And so, yeah, just keeping our minds locked into those things, I would say.
All right, thank you all.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.